love the over trap beats. The Fixx is saying, ooh. DJ Focus, tell him turn you up. Ooh. DJ Focus, tell him turn you up. Ooh.
Welcome back. DJ Focus, Dice Gamble. You tap back into the Fixx, your source of faith-infused hip-hop, R&B, and poetry. Listen, it's time for our spiritual detox. And listen, we got family on today. Every time we get our sis on, we always have a good time. And she making new music again, so of course we're excited. Listen, she got so many accolades. I got to, give her some of her creds. Listen, singer, songwriter, artist development, keynote speaker. She do a little TV too as well. Don't sleep on that. Of course, podcasting. She a worship pastor too as well. She like to speak. Of course, she is a motivational speaker, leadership coach. She do it all. The one and only Jay. What's going on, sis?
Hey. Keep going. Keep going with the list.
I know, right? We're here for this.
Goes on and on.
Yeah. You've been doing it all for a long time, sis, and we appreciate you, all the hard work. Thank you. We're gonna give you some roses while you still living.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's not easy.
Yeah, she got bars too. Focus.
Yeah,
you left that one out. I was waiting on you
the bars. See, I'm kind of. I feel a certain way. I'm not saying she ain't got bars, but I love the singing more than the bars.
Because here's the thing, a lot of people just think that I fell into doing a couple of little rappy things. I don't consider myself a rapper. Everybody considered me to be a rapper because I do like to rhythmically sing, and because I've done so much stuff with the Christian hip hop community. So yeah, I like me better as a singer too, though. DJ Focus.
We love you as a singer. Please stay right there. We're good. You jumping inspired. No, listen, I'm excited. Thank you for coming on here. Man, I got to hear something Focus sent me, and I have so many questions about it. I don't know. When do we get to get into the song?
No, right now. 555. Come on. New single out. Come on and talk about the inspiration behind it first. What is the 555 for? Because I feel like that got a special meaning.
I want to hear what Dice. I want to hear a question from Dice though. What you?
Go ahead, Dice.
Well, first of all, I love this song. I love the vibe of it.
Thank you.
I love it's very grown and sexy for me. I mean, you were killing it, kind of adding in the accent. I was like, this is very vacation-y. It's sync ready. It's TV ready. It's movie ready. But it's like a pop star sound. You know what I'm saying? I was just appreciating the fact that I'm like, if I didn't, I could hear it was you, but if I didn't know you, I was like, this is nice. Like, this is a different feel, different vibe. So I was just curious, like, why would you even choose to do something like that?
Well, okay. I chose to make it more, I'm really into Afro beats. I'm always into like all kinds of like world music. I'm influenced more by world music than I am just about by what's happening in the gospel industry, Christian music industry, hip hop industry, whatever's happening like in the R&B world. I'm more influenced by like what's happening in the world. So Afro beats has always been something that I've enjoyed listening to. I've enjoyed, it makes me move no matter what time of the year it is, and I was on it honestly before even like Black is King came out, before, the Wakanda stuff. I was already into like the Afrobeats movement. So I said, because of the topic, I really was worried about putting the song 555 out because I was like, I don't want nobody thinking I'm talking about like 666 or nothing like that. Just the numbers, right? So I wore it with title in it, naming it, and I was like, I just got to call it what it is. But because the subject matter isn't heavy, but what got me to that subject matter is kind of heavy. I wanted something that still made me feel happy about the fact that I'm seeing 555, the fact that I'm seeing these numbers all the time. I didn't want to be reminded of the fear I felt initially when I was seeing it, and then what came immediately after it. I wanted to talk about it all, but put it in a way that still makes me happy about the outcome and the future, what's to come. So that's why I decided to make it more Afrobeats fun.
I see what you're saying.
I could dance to. A lot of times when you're going through stuff, or when it's something that's like I said, you want to just talk, Lord,
I know.
I'm going
through. I know.
You want to kind of sound like a ballad or sad, and then, or because it's coming out during the fourth quarter of the year, close to Christmas, I'm like, I don't want to sound like Jingle Bells. Like, I want it to sound like what Like if I'm on vacation, no matter if I'm listening to it right now, because a lot of people leave the cold climate to go to someplace warm for the holidays. And I'm like, it don't always have to feel cold in this season. It can just feel like a vibe. So that's why I did it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we got to wind to this.
Yeah, we got to wine. And I wanted to be grown and saved, grown and sexy. Yeah. I just wanted to, because I am. I'm not a young girl anymore. I'm 42 years old, and I'm loving my life. I love where I am. I have a 20-year-old daughter, and I'm like, I'm grown. I'm single now, and I'm like, I am walking into who God's called me to be as a woman. And this is my first time living by myself, living life by myself, moving to a new state by myself. I'm in a whole new headspace, and so I don't have anyone around me right now that's constantly affirming me, telling me I'm pretty or nothing. Like my ex-husband didn't do that. Right. No way. So we can talk about that later. But I don't have any. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it real.
Keep it 100.
I'll always keep it 100. Like I don't have that. I'm always keep it a bug, but like I don't have that, so I have to tell myself, "Girl, you fine. Girl, you look good. Wake up every morning, and even if I don't have to have no full face of makeup, I don't have that on right now. But I'm saying like." You look great. You are great. You like his grace and mercy are new every morning. And you know, like, and you have hope for the future. Like things are getting better, and they're great today. They're better than they were yesterday, so I wanted something that reminded me that I am grown and sexy and savvy. I don't care.
I love it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Focus.
That's fire. So yeah, a lot. She said a lot, and I got to go back. So one, talk about that. I think that is something very important when you talk about knowing who you are, like not looking for other people's validation and being secure in yourself. Speak to that a little bit, because I think the listeners need to hear that more. Why do you think, especially within the Christian culture, why do you think we struggle so much? When I look on social media and all the different stuff that we try to chase instead of being authentically who we are, why do you think we're still chasing those things and don't find self and peace in ourselves and be cool with who God created us to be? Like, we good.
Yeah, but a lot of times it's because of how we originally even learned scripture. We didn't understand that affirmations are a part of who God is. God talks about I am that I am. Like God is a boss. Like when I speak, things happen. Like, and he said, and I need you to say that. Speak the things that are lovely, pure, good report. We talk that's in the Bible, but because of how we, have been taught in church, it's don't be cocky, be humble, don't do this, don't do that. So you have this almost like meek and lowly, almost subservient, like I don't want to be. Every time you hear a Christian like say something good about themselves, but I'm not boasting. Just you don't hear God saying that I am, but I ain't boasting. No, he's like boast in the Lord. Talk about your boy, And I'm not saying in a way that your heart becomes cocky, but I'm like it's okay to speak well of yourself. And because we don't know who we are, we don't know who our identity is in Christ. We also just don't know who we are as just regular humans. We find our identity in what we do in church, what we do in ministry. We find our identity in who we are dating or who we marry. We then find our identity in where we work, if we have children, and our bank accounts. We find our identity in so many other things where we chase after what looks good. And because so many Christians don't really know who they are, we don't see a lot of Christians winning for real. We see the world winning. So it looks like Satan taking care of his kids. So then we try to do a counterfeit version of what Cardi B doing. We try to do a counterfeit version of what Beyonce doing. We try to chase that. We want to look like, because it looked like it's winning. Because guess what? They kind of are winning in a sense on this earth for multiple reasons. Number one, Satan has rule over the earth right now. Like, so anybody that's in the kingdom of darkness is going to win. Right? I mean, this is their time to shine. So you got to know that. But number two, they're okay speaking those things as though they should be. Like, they don't just speak. It's crazy. The world understands faith. They call it manifestation now. Right. The world understands faith more than Christians do, because we so humble that we don't even want to speak it out loud, or we're so scared to talk about speaking those things and manifesting things that we end up not even using the gift God gave us. We don't say, no, I'm blessed. I'm happy, because you want to, well, if you're saved, you're not supposed to be blessed. Or if you're saved, you're not supposed to sound like this. And if you die, like, nah, speak it. Every morning now, I went through such a hard, dark, and that's where 555 came from. And I could talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
I went through a very dark, dark season where I couldn't speak. I just didn't speak well of myself. I was very, very low in a very dark, dark place. And now that I've coming out of that, I see God in a different way. And I see God saying, I'm waiting on you to say it, because the Bible talks about, I will do exceedingly abundantly above what you ask or think, but you ain't asking it and you ain't thinking it. So because we don't do that, he can't do exceedingly abundantly because we ain't asking it and we don't even think it. We think defeat. We think woe is me. We think our music ain't going to do good. We think our shows aren't going to do good. We don't think our podcast is going to do as good as the breakfast show. We don't think our concerts are going to do as good as what Renaissance did. We don't think it. But the world thinks it. The world plans it. And they say it's going to be the best thing. Da, 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 da. They done learned it. They done tapped into something. And I think as believers, we have to tap into it with the right mindset, knowing who the source is, but we have to start speaking it out. I think that's really one of the main reasons, because our self-concept, we have a terrible self-concept of ourselves. We don't believe this person going to work with me. Why? Because I'm good. I'm dope. I'm a dope part. Of course, DJ Focus and Dice gonna want to interview me. My song is dope. I did a great song. God blessed me to write, and he made me a great artist. Of course, why wouldn't they? We always be shocked when somebody happens. Oh my God, I can't believe oh my God. You know, we was shocked. Not no more. I don't live in shockland. I live in duh. This is just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
Straight fire. Listen, DJ Focus, Dice Gamble, we got to go to break. Listen, she came on preaching today. We got to go to a quick break, and we coming right back with more from Jay. Keep it locked. You tune into The Fixx.
And The Fixx is in.
Culture Radio. We're not just background noise. We play the music that inspires you, because every song has a story. Christian hip hop and R&B music and talk on Siriusxm channel 154, 24 hours a day. Holy Culture Radio is changing the game. Discussions about faith, arts, vocation, and education. We talk about the real issues that affect our communities and work together to find solutions. Join the discussion at holyculture.net and be heard.
Welcome back. DJ Focus, Dice Gamble. You tap back into The Fixx. Listen, we still got Jay on, don't we, Dice?
Yeah, we do. Listen, she's been preaching and teaching. Y'all need to go ahead and hit her on the Cash App, $, whatever. Jay is
Jay Willie. Let's do it.
Jay Willie, sow a seed, okay? Because she's giving you some gems today. Listen, Jay, you had said something before, and I just want to double back to you and separating from your ex. When you know you're a Christian and you know you're going through and you know you need strength, and maybe you have some questions God hasn't answered, like how do you approach that? Because we do have a lot of kingdom marriages that, you know, are kind of, people are separating or going their separate way. Okay. On the fire.
Just keep it above.
Just keep it above.
People cheating, people leaving, people getting bored, people
mercy
each other. COVID made people get tired. Like, oh, we stuck in the house. I really don't like you. I don't like you either. Let's be done. Pastors, it just don't matter. Everybody, people, the church is falling apart. Well, but that's facts. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Like you ask how I approach it. Like,
yeah.
Well, here's the thing about it. When you're connected to the Lord in a really real way, he will give you warnings. Okay. And so that's where 555 came from. Like, you have to be like, your mind has to be tuned in, and you have to be willing to see God and hear God in ways that are unexpected. Like back in the Bible days, he would have a bush burning. Now we like, that's so wild. God trying to speak to you, like,
right.
But if that happened today, we'd be like freaking out, like,
right.
I started seeing 555 everywhere. I started seeing it, like I would wake up at 5:55 out of nowhere, and this is when I was still married. This is like 2019. It was like I would wake up 5:55. I like go to the grocery store and it'd be like $55.50. And I'm like, what is this? I go to a new doctor's office or a new dentist, and it like the address is $555 grand. It's like, what? Like, I'm saying it like, now God, what are you there? Are you trying to say something? And so I prayed about it, and then I went to advisors, and I went to pastors. I went to a lot of people, just like, I know that the number 5. I'm also an ordained pastor. I'm an ordained preacher. And so I knew that the number 5 in biblical stance meant 5 like meant grace. I mean, number 5 typically stands for grace. And then I know typically when you see things in 3, like the Trinity, it's kind of like a completion deal. Like it's like this is set, you know. So when he says it, there's some power in it. So I'm like, he's trying to say something, you know. And so when I went to my advisors and my pastors, and they were like, you know what, I do believe you're supposed to brace yourself because something's coming, and you're gonna need to extend grace, and you're gonna need grace like you've never needed it before. And I was like, Now that ain't something that you want to be like, I'm so excited. And I just can't. No. I'm like, what am I about to? Then I started having dreams of like these beasts chasing me and my ex-husband with fire coming out of the mouth. I'm like, this is scary. Like, I don't like none of
Take
it.
it back. Take it back.
And so I was like trying to pray. I was blessing my house, praying over everything, putting blessed all over everything. And so prepping for that, bracing for impact, but also rebuking the enemy. Like, I mean, you gotta kind of got to go old school. You know, I was like, no, I rebuke the enemy in the name of Jesus, whatever's coming. Yeah, you know, all that stuff. I really tried to set my heart for what was to come. I had no idea that was about to come, that I was going to find out that my ex-husband was cheating on me. I just wasn't expecting that. That was the last thing that I was expecting. And that my marriage of almost 20 years was about to fall apart. I wasn't ready for that. And the best way that I say to prepare for the unexpected is to remain loose, meaning anchored in God, but flexible, because they're like, of course, God brings things to us that can test us. Of course, Satan brings things to us that can test us, but also people have free will.
That's right.
You know, people, like, I had to understand it because I was mad. And you think about people that have suffered from death in their families, from, like you said, marriages, from losing their job. Life happens. We are in a sinful world. Life happens. And just because you're a believer doesn't mean that you have this eternal hedge of protection around you. And so that was hard for me. And that was like, even though God warned me, it still hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, now that wasn't what I was expecting, because that was the one thing I prayed over all the time. Like, God, I rebuke the enemy that comes against my family, my husband, my daughter, you know, because me and my family, my birth family, you know, we had a kind of a strained marriage, a strained relationship. But my family that I chose, like my husband and my daughter, that was my crew. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, God, you protect that same hedge of protection that Job had before all that stuff happened to him. Put that over my family, God, you know? And so, but understanding that even though I prayed that, my ex-husband still had free will. Like he has to make his own choices too. So understanding that part of my life could have literally made me leave the faith, for real. Just because I'm like, all the years that I've given to ministry, I've been a pastor's kid all of my life. Like I said, I was ordained by the age of 18, been in ministry and serving on boards and executive board. I was the executive pastor at the last church I was at. I've been worship pastor. I was Joyce Meyer's global worship pastor. I've just done all of that stuff and poured into so many people that is like, you couldn't protect my family? Like, and then the church went silent too. Like, who's going to help me, you know, with this? Who's going to hold him accountable? Who's going to help us get back together? You know, like, where are the people? Where are the people? Where are all the hip hop guys that be like, let's chop it up? You know, who's chopping? Let's chop. Now it's chopping time. Nobody chopped. Nobody chopped. There was no chopping. And I was like, what happened to the chopping? Do we not chop anymore? So it was one of the moments where I felt like I was going to leave. So anybody that's facing something that's hard, just know that I understand. There's really no way to prepare for something unexpected, because that's the whole point of it being unexpected. But if you always stay on your feet and stay anchored in the Lord and know that he's got you, and know that his promise to you is that his will that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers, and understand that he will do exceedingly abundantly above all you guys can think, and know that he can do more than what that plan A did. He promised me that he will give me double for my trouble. He'll give me double. He'll bless me way better than I thought I was going to be blessed. So you just have to stand on his promises during those tough times.
That's fire. Listen, you've been teasing us, so you gave us Ghosts. Now you give us 555. When the project dropping? Why don't you stop playing game? You old school, so now I don't want this all these singles. Project. I need a whole body of work to sit with, to ride with, and say, okay, thank you for allowing for me to come into your world and break down that thing. Like, No, you from the old school. We gotta. When the project
I
coming?
know it's coming. Like, here's the thing: I have enough music probably to put out a couple of records, right? And
Wow.
so this is to anybody that's done something that really had huge faith for it, and it didn't work out the way you thought it was going to work out. Like when I first put my first EP out and my first album out, one of the main things that I said, I was like, I don't want to be a one-hit wonder. You know, like I don't want to put it out and then be like, oh yeah, she was dope, and then disappear. Well, because I put so much into that first one, and I was an independent artist. I put all my own money behind it. I ended up, for my EP, I did it all alone. Then on my Culture Shock album, I ended up getting a distribution deal, the same distribution deal that Lecrae and Reach Records got, that Flame and his record, you know, his label got, the same ones that all these guys, Thizzle, all these guys had gotten this distribution deal. I got the same one. So I thought I was about to really do it. I was like, next stop, big leagues, you know?
Right.
And I had such unrealistic expectations for that album, even though it got me awards, it got me nominations, hip hop album of the year, like for the Dove Award, like all these amazing accolades. It charted on Billboard. It did great, but it didn't do what I thought it was going to do. Where is the money? like who's going to pay for this next situation? Because I understood that in the music industry, once you put something out, they're ready for the next thing. It's a crazy cycle. Once you start putting something out, it's not like, okay, 1, 2, skip a few. No, it's like, okay, what's next? You like this, and then what's next? Okay, it's a never ending cycle. You just got to keep, and that is expensive for somebody that's putting it out on their own. And so for me, I got a little discouraged, and because I do so many other things, I'm like, I got to stack my bread. I need to go to work, because these albums don't be making a lot of money. And I put my Culture Shock album out when the CDs was still popping, and so now that we're in streaming, you really don't see money quickly. Like it take a while, you know. And so at the end of the day, you got to be a business person about it. You got to be wise about it. And so I've recorded enough music, probably put out a couple of albums. And I have, you know, gotten a pretty dope partnership now that I feel like can help me put some stuff out top of the year. We'll probably put another single out and ride that for a little bit. And then we'll do an EP, and then we'll do a full album. So I'm believing in 2024, y'all will probably get another single, an EP, and an album from Jay. Because I got a lot to talk about, y'all.
Well, don't forget about your sister over here. She back making music.
Come on now.
So, you know, you need a soft little 16.
I'm right here.
Dice Gamble.
Ready, Dice?
Come on, been ready.
Been ready, huh?
Listen, we just waiting on you to, you know, throw that EP on out there, the next single. What I mean, we're just, you know, you said top of the year. I'll be ready. I'm ready when you are.
I'm gonna hit you up, Dice. I'm like, you ready, Dice? Let's go.
Right.
Hey, we gotta have you back on, sis. It's always good talking to you. Listen, tell the people how they connect with you, follow you on all your social media platforms, and please introduce your latest single.
Yes, y'all, listen, follow me primarily on Instagram. I'm really trying to get them numbers up. I need y'all help because the algorithm really helps. Like, y'all don't understand when you're I ain't young, but when you're a budding artist still at this big age, you need those Instagram followers because the algorithm, that's how you show when your stuff's coming out. I need y'all to like, follow, subscribe, share, all that stuff at J Talks. That's at JAITALKS. Anytime you see me on shows, like I've been hosting the Erica Campbell show a lot, which has been dope. Whenever y'all just support your girl and send in good notes to say, hey, we love her on here. Just anything you can do to act like you my cousin, that's what you can do. Bring me to your event. I do talk, I speak, I do conferences, but I also sing and I vocal produce, all that stuff. Hit up booking at Just J. So booking at JUSTJAI. That's my website, .com. And follow me on YouTube. If you go to my website, you'll see all of my other places that you can just like and subscribe and share to all of them. All right, y'all.
There we go.
And so I am just super excited for y'all to follow me on my journey. I'm very transparent. I got a podcast coming out, TV show coming out, talk show coming out. I'm working right now. I'm using all 5. Like God also told me about the parable of 5, 2, and 1. The one person that had 5 talents, 2 talents, and 1 talent. The one person with the 1 talent hid it because they didn't want to lose it. The one with the 2 doubled it. The one with the 5 doubled it. That's me. I'm a 5 talent individual. I'm emptying the clip right now. I'm using all of my talents right now because I know that God's going to give me an increase on everything He put inside of me. He put it inside of me, so I'm going to use it all. So follow me on my journey, and I cannot wait for y'all to check out my new single, 555, right here on the Fixx. Check it out, y'all.
Keep it locked. You tuned into the Fixx.
And the Fixx is in.